It was just another Tuesday morning in Lakehurst, a quiet, predominantly white town in upstate New York. The sky was overcast, and the air carried the bite of late autumn. 16-year-old Aaliyah Brooks sat at a corner booth in Jimmy's Diner, scribbling notes into her AP Civics notebook while sipping on a chocolate milkshake. She wore a red varsity jacket, headphones around her neck, her school ID on a lanyard. She had a big debate competition that Friday. Her father, who had just moved the family from Atlanta, encouraged her to focus on law and justice's values. He lived by. What she didn't know that morning was how those values would be put to the test. Officer Brett Kinley, 38-year-old local cop with a record of over-policing minorities, just finished his third coffee when he walked into the diner. His eyes immediately zeroed in on Aaliyah. He didn't like the sight. "Hey," he barked, approaching her table. "You waiting for someone?" Aaliyah looked up, confused. "I'm just studying. You don't look like you belong here." "Where's your ID?" "It's around my neck," she said, holding it up. "I go to Lakehurst High." Kinley narrowed. His eyes. "Mind stepping outside with me?" she asked, voice firm. "Because I said so." "You match the description of someone involved in a car theft nearby. I just got here. I walked from school. I haven't done anything wrong." "Step outside." Now, the diner fell silent. Customers looked away, uncomfortable. No one said a word as Aaliyah was grabbed by the arm and pulled outside. Asterisk in the parking lot. Kinley pressed her against the wall and began questioning her harshly. She kept insisting she had no idea what he was talking about. Her phone buzzed. "In her pocket. Don't move," he snapped. "What's in your pocket?" "My phone." "My dad's calling, yeah?" "Let's see who Daddy is." Kinley snatched the phone and glanced at the screen. "Dad, Chief Justice Brooks." He laughed. "Chief Justice. He works in food service." "No," Aaliyah said, meeting his gaze. "He was appointed last week. He's your new boss's." "Boss." Kinley froze. Asterisk. 10 minutes later, a black BMW pulled up outside the diner. Out stepped Justice Malcolm Brooks, tall, composed, dressed in a tailored gray suit. His presence alone shifted the atmosphere. He approached without a word and walked straight up to his daughter. "Are you hurt?" he asked her gently. "No, just humiliated." He turned to Kinley, who was now nervously adjusting his belt and trying to act casual. "You must be Officer Kinley," Brooks said. "Yes, sir. Just doing my job." She matched the suspect description. "Interesting. What was the description?" Kinley hesitated. "Teenager, hoodie, backpack." "She wasn't wearing a hoodie," Brooks said. "She's wearing a school ID. Yet you physically restrained her, questioned her without cause, and humiliated her in front of half this town." "I was within my rights." "You were within your bias," Brooks interrupted. "You judged her based on her skin before her actions." The officer said nothing. Brooks turned to the gathering crowd. "I am the newly appointed Chief Justice of this district, and what happened here will not go unanswered." That night, local news outlets picked up the story. Witnesses from the diner came forward. A high school student posted a video of the altercation. It went viral. The next morning, Kinley was placed on administrative leave. But Brooks wasn't done. Asterisk at the next city council meeting, Justice Brooks addressed the town. "I came here, not just as a judge, but as a father. And yesterday, my daughter was treated like a suspect for studying in a diner. Not because of what she did, but because of who she is. You can talk about law and order all you want, but there is no justice without accountability, and this town is long overdue." The council was silent. The mayor shifted in his seat. Kinley, seated in the back row, lowered his head. A week later, the police department announced mandatory racial bias training, and Officer Kinley was transferred and demoted. But Brooks didn't stop there. He helped set up a youth justice program that allowed students like Aaliyah to shadow judges, understand civil rights, and learn how to change systems from the inside. Asterisk Aaliyah stood at a podium at her school's debate. "My topic today is this," she said. "What would you do if your rights were denied simply because of your appearance?" For me, that was not a question. It was my Tuesday morning. But I stand here not angry but stronger, because justice does not come from wearing a robe or a badge. come from the courage to speak when others stay silent, and I will never stay silent again. Asterisk, asterisk. The crowd rose in a standing ovation. Aaliyah smiled, and in the back row her father nodded proudly, not just as a judge, but as a man who had raised a warrior for justice.